Oh, it's time to wake up, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. Oh, if you guys did not watch the basketball, oh my goodness. Baseball game last night with us, you missed an awesome game. The boys swept Clinton. We're going to nickname these guys like the heart attack crew or something because yet again, they came from behind in the last two innings. I don't know where they're getting this from. You know, last week it was up 7, down 6, win by 1 in the last at bat with the Kale Moss walk-off. First game last night, come from behind, Kale Moss hits another walk-off. It's nuts. And then just, if you're not watching Muskie baseball and softball, you're nuts because it's an absolute blast. Anyway, there's that. Today we are going to be your jolt of dark chocolate, coffee, and everything else because we've got Tennille from R7 Farm Life Festival. You name it. If it's down south of here and it's cool, you've probably got your fingers in it somewhere.
Well, maybe. I try to be a volunteer in all the cool things in Louisa County.
So if you could, for those that don't know you, if you could introduce yourself real quick and kind of a quick overview of what R7, the entire R7 empire.
Brand.
Yes.
Brand.
No,
we'll
it's
brand.
an empire. It's an empire. She's
no.
Honest. It's an empire.
Graham, you can only host such a good size empire. All right, I'm Tennille Register, and I am the owner of R7 Reclaimed, which is a home and vintage brand that focuses on all things found, reclaimed, loved. And we have been working on repurposing some properties down in Grandview. Our destination storefront is pretty well known as a red barn, reclaimed from the 1800s, where we sell our goods and host events for the community. And recently we've added to that the old Grandview Schoolhouse, and what is the only thing left in downtown Grandview, which most people know it as the old Sombrero building,
right.
But it was formerly a feed store back in the day.
Oh.
And then,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then grocery store, and then eventually restaurant. So anyway, R7 is also our family brand. There's 7 of us in our blended family. And so we say that Found, Reclaim, Love stands for our faith, our family, and the goods that we sell and repurpose. So that's a bit about R7. I've also gone into offering small business coaching, so I have a lot of hands in small businesses. And this year, my relationships with the small businesses, specifically in Muscatine, has just like grown, tripled, doubled, however you want to describe it. And it's so exciting.
It is. It's so much fun because we get to do, like, we don't ever call it coaching, but that's what we do a lot of.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when you see somebody start getting traction that they hadn't had before. And there's always effort there. You know what I mean? Like, I've never met a small business. We're totally off track here for a moment, but
right. Let's preach.
Well, no, but it's a thing. Like, and even sometimes for ourselves, right? Like, you feel like you're working hard, but you're not getting traction. Sometimes it's just an outside point of view, just a little thing here, and it's usually like minor things that, like, you know, make a couple adjustments, maybe one or two major things, and then poof, you can watch them grow, and it's a blast.
Right. Everybody in a small business, they go into it willing to work hard.
Yep.
And sometimes it just takes another partner
Yep.
to say, here's how you can work smarter also.
Yep,
So.
exactly. So we should have a conversation about that someday.
Yeah,
like,
let's do it.
That should be
let's
full
do a show on small business
We could do like a whole
coaching.
series on it. Okay, but that's not why you're here. So she doesn't know this, but I'm going to recommend, you know, she's got this super strong brand, super well defined, but I'm actually going to make a suggestion for changing the name of the Farm Life Festival.
What do you think it should be?
Did you see that look? Did you see that look? Oh my
Well, I actually have a backup name in my head, so I'm wondering if we've had this conversation or what you're thinking
I
here.
think you just call it Awesome Life Festival.
Oh, Awesome Life Festival.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I love this thing. Melissa and I go as often as we can. Melissa's been able to make it more than me. It's just fun.
It is fun.
It's just, I mean, that word gets thrown around a lot, but I do think it is awesome because you guys have like, I think the number this year is over 80 vendors.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the expansion this year and all that stuff, but just thinking back over the last ones, when you walk in, as funny as it sounds, it is definitely a farm vibe, no question. But when you walk in, it doesn't feel that way. Like, it just feels good. And yeah, I mean, you've got all of the farm vintage, like, you've got all that, but it doesn't feel. It feels welcoming for anybody that doesn't necessarily think of themselves as like a farm life person.
Yes.
Like I'm not. Like I'm inside, air conditioned. Like that's me, right?
Right.
And I don't feel uncomfortable there. So that's what I love about it.
Right.
But, so this year you've got a bunch of big changes.
Yes.
So what has it been, and what are you doing this year?
Yeah, so when we started, I think we had maybe 20 vendors, and it was very focused on the farm life vibe. We had our animals there for petting zoo, that kind of thing. As it has grown and evolved, the animals had to kind of scooch out of the way to make room for supporting more vendors and more people. Also, as our kids got older, they don't have as many small animals.
Oh. Right.
You know, we have some animals at our place, but not as many as we once did. Anyway, all of that to say, so this year we have expanded to really taking on the whole small town vibe. Our shirts say famous in a small town, and really, you know, Grandview, we are kind of keeping it on the map, as well as the 4th of July parade, of course. But so there's 3 locations you get to hop around from, and all 3 are historic properties. And so really, part of this is going to have an urban downtown vibe to it. The new Airbnb is like very posh, very urban feeling, and you get to take trolley and golf cart shuttle. The Tipsy Traveler serves cocktails. There's wine tasting. So whatever your vibe is, you're going to find it.
Right, and that's what made me kind of think of this, because like I remember like the thing that I always think about when I think of you guys is the lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade shake-ups, the Lions Club serves the very best.
Yep, I always think of those. And then there's, I don't remember who it is that would always bring amazing jelly.
Like jams and jellies? Yeah. We have a couple of different ones.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm trying to remember, but those are like the 2 things that, because I'm a food guy, as you can tell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the decor stuff, that's not necessarily my vibe, but like Melissa can go do that, and I'm just like, give me some of that, and you walk out with tons of great food and tons of.
This year we have a couple of different vendors who offer things for pets, and your pets are welcome to come on a leash. Your 4-legged friend on a leash is welcome to come, and so dog lovers, plant lovers, you know, there's just something literally for everyone.
There is.
Kids activities.
There is, and that's, you know, I think it was 2 years ago maybe, we brought Wyatt, who would have been at the time like a 9-year-old boy. Who, again, 9-year-old boy, not because we tried the Makers Market this year. He didn't do so well now at the 11.
Right.
Know, he's in that phase. But, like, even at 9, he was having a blast. Like, he was around looking at everything, like, exploring. And what I loved, I'm going to go into nerd parent for a moment, he was asking a lot of questions about the things he was seeing. And so then we could, like, fill back in, like, well, what's this, like, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like some sort of like vintage car model thing. You know, so then we started talking about that. So like, it was great conversation starters. It was, so, you know, if you're looking for a family event that you can take everybody, and here's the thing, Wyatt would enjoy it now. We just have to make sure that he's like well rested, because he's in that like preteen thing where if they're not like super well rested, it's a cranky mess, right?
Is he your oldest?
He is. Yeah,
I find it very amusing that you think you can influence.
Oh, I know.
What kind of mood he's in.
Well, actually with him, you kind of can. Like he's pretty pliable, but I know it won't stay that way.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's an awesome family thing. It would be awesome like as a date night, date day.
Yeah, day date.
Yeah.
We have had several guys who like surprise her with this festival.
Yep.
Like she didn't know anything about it, and they heard about it and brought her, and like you want to impress, that's going to impress.
Yeah, it's like a perfect like, and it's all there. That's what the other thing that I love about this, and there's a lot I actually enjoy about this, it's all there. Like you can literally just show up. You don't have to worry about bringing anything. You don't have to, there's food there, there's water, there's everything.
Tables, seating, patio furniture. You don't have to bring your own lawn chair. There's
music.
Yeah, music all day, live music.
Yeah, which again, it's just goes to and huge compliment, an extremely well orchestrated chaos.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's, we've done big events and you know what it's like. It's like this organized orchestra of crazy that, all comes together, and you never notice the little things that go wrong. Like you and I, like you notice all the little things that go wrong, right? But nobody else ever does. Everybody else has this amazing time. And what I love about, you have to do this, I know you do. After every one, you go, okay, well, what can we do better? Because every year, like those little things, it just gets smoother and smoother, and
I am privileged to work with like the best team ever, and it grows every year.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, one of the things we talked about with R7 is if, Jesse and I would love to personally welcome every person and entertain them as if they were coming into our home. But as it grows, that's impossible for us to make contact with those people. So everybody who comes to our team, here's a bonus interview question for people. We ask them, how can you help people feel like they're being welcomed into our home when they step foot on this property?
Yep.
And I feel like our team has done an amazing job of making that vibe lasts throughout. So whether you are talking to me or my cousin or a high school staffer, you're going to have the same kind of experience.
Well, and that's what, that does definitely show, right? And that is obviously a conscious decision you've made to make sure that that's what it is. Because I think the last time I was there, I didn't even actually see you because, just whatever.
I move really lightning fast.
Right. But yet I felt like I saw you because your vibe is in everything.
Yeah.
And everybody there, and I should say like your team's vibe, like and your family's vibe. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not just you.
Right.
But, I mean,
it's big.
But everybody there gets it. And that's a hard thing as a business owner and as a event organizer. That's a hard thing to do. Like, I hope people really understand how great of an event this is, because that stuff does go through, and it is really hard to do that. So
at the end of the day, we want to have a good day, and we want everybody to have a good day. So that is kind of our central goal, right? Yeah. And kindness rules for us always.
Yeah, and it definitely shows. So it's this Saturday. What time should people roll in?
Yeah.
Or can people roll in?
The gates open at 9.
Okay.
A lot of people will come a little bit earlier than that to get into their parking spot and get around. The shuttles won't start until about 8:30, 8:45.
Okay.
But usually that is around the time we start to see a lineup at the gate to get in. But here's the thing. You're going to be fine if you're not in that group of people.
Oh, yeah.
If you wait until 9:30 or 10, you'll be able to walk right in.
Right.
My favorite people are the ones who arrive around lunchtime and spend the afternoon with us, lingering under the shade trees, sipping the lemonade. So
and that's us, because we don't get going early. So
yeah.
If you want to see us, which I'm sure you don't, afternoon, yes.
And that's when I'm available usually to like hang out, visit, talk with people is in the afternoon.
So let's get people there.
Yeah.
From Muscatine to Grandview, let's use landmarks to get people where they're going.
Easy. You're just gonna take...
I know this is easy. I teed this one up for you. Like, you better hit this out of the park.
You're gonna take Highway 61, and it used to be take a left at the helicopter.
Right.
The helicopter's harder to see now, but it's exit 74.
Yep.
And as soon as you roll into Grandview, for one thing, you're gonna be able to follow the line of cars. But there's also, because we've moved our parking lot this year, there's going to be an officer directing you straight to the parking. Oh. And I'm telling you, as soon as you get to the parking lot, like our people will guide you through the day.
Yep. And so you get parked, you get to the front gate.
Yeah.
You step through, what do you see? Like,
so
what do you see? What's like, how do you decide to go left or right?
Sure. So from the parking lot, you're going to see the huge old schoolhouse. You can't miss it. We realized last night we should have hung a really amazing banner off the top of the building, but I don't think I can get one. But plug, if there's a local business who can get me one before Saturday, I need one of those. So you're going to see this big schoolhouse.
Yeah.
And you can, and so you'll be able to start your journey there. The coffee truck will be waiting for you, so don't stop for coffee on your way. Get your coffee when you get there, and you'll be able to start shopping immediately with our vendors. There's a sidewalk that will guide you, and then there will be signs that say, hop the shuttle here. From there, you have a decision to make. You can take the shuttle straight over to the barn, or you can walk one block to the R7 downtown. So some people are gonna wanna start their day at the barn, others at the downtown. And the shuttles and the trolleys will take you where you need to go.
Okay, you keep saying trolley.
Yeah,
like
a 24-person hop on the street trolley.
Is this the one that like used to be in Muscatine?
I don't know where it's originally from. It's out of the Quad Cities.
Oh, okay.
Like the type of trolley people rent for weddings.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
events.
Yeah.
We've rented it to come down to
There was
Grandview.
one that used to do that up here, and it was just like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
We did it in Naperville at a wedding way back.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way to go. Like literally, it's like a bus, but 10 times nicer.
Yeah. 24 people can hop on and off. It's adorable. You're going to want to take a picture.
Right.
And we're really excited about that addition to town.
Okay. So if there was, we've covered a lot. If there was one thing you wanted people to know that isn't necessarily like the blatantly obvious stuff, like what's the, and this one, I thought I might get you on this one a little bit. What's like one, like almost back corner thing that isn't like one of the main, because obviously the big stuff, like the lemonade, like there's all that big stuff. What's like one little hidden gem that you'd hope people see?
That's a good question.
I know, right?
I think it might be that when you visit the R7 downtown, there's two things. One is there's a back patio that you could sneak out to on the Airbnb where you could honestly just sit and kill some time if you wanted. And then I think the other one would be that we've added a dressing room to that building. And that sounds silly, right, to check out the dressing room, but it's adorable back there. And if you want a real feel that you are in an old feed store, if you walk back there, you'll know it.
Awesome.
So that will give people a little, place.
Like a one little thing. So it'll be interesting to see if you see people back there now, like going to
right.
check that out.
Knock first. It's a dressing room, right?
Oh,
Let's be clear.
Okay, yeah,
I just thought of that.
Yeah, that would be, Chris says go just walk into dressing rooms. Not a thing. No, do not do that. Holy cow. Okay, so quick recap. Saturday. If you want to be at the front of the line, be there 8:30, park, but be ready to wait till 9 when things open.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would probably roll in there at 9 and walk in like right after the big rush.
line.
Like
Yes.
that's me, right?
Yeah.
Or it is also a good afternoon thing. Like swing in, grab some lunch there, spend the afternoon, and then roll. So
right.
Grandview, just get to Grandview, you will find it.
No doubt.
Just go south, you'll find it. It's easy. And then we'll put next year on the calendar, right? I assume?
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Anything else major you want to make sure we cover?
I don't think so. $5 admission.
Oh, yeah.
$5 admission. Kids 17 and under are free. There is handicap parking available by the barn. So look on our Facebook or our Instagram. Yep. We've been sharing a map that will just help you make sense of it. People want to know what to expect.
Yep.
And if you check out our social media stuff or farmlifefestival.com, you'll get the sneak peeks that you're interested in.
It's all there. So awesome.
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure we're swinging down. So
all right.
Hopefully I'll at least see you ducking in and out of stuff on Saturday for a moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping in. Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, holy cow. We totally went off the rails. They put together a video of the past couple years and whatever. So take a look at this. This will give you the perfect understanding of what this is.
Super.
Okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do that, and then we will see you on the other side with Betty Collins from the library. It's really Miss Betty in the house.
can make the biggest difference. Every day, bigs and littles are connecting in our community. Their time together can look a little different, but the goals and outcomes are the same. Littles are building confidence, forming better relationships, a sense of belonging, and achieving big goals. But there are more kids just like me who are still waiting. Will you join us in making more matches possible? Support big brothers, big sisters.
We are looking for a zero-turn lawnmower.
At Hustler Turf, quality matters.
Can I test drive that one?
In the store?
Even in the buying experience. We know you want to buy from someone who knows what they're talking about.
We're looking for a zero-turn mower.
Like
Great.
this guy.
First thing I need to know is what's the size of your property? Are there any obstacles?
Head to your local Hustler dealer and talk to a lawnmower expert.
Stop in to Muscatine Lawn and Power at 2020 Stewart Road to see Hustler quality for yourself.
We just don't work out in a single plane of motion.
Welcome back, and we are here with the Muscatine legend, Miss Betty. I know you always laugh every time I say it, but it's true. It's absolutely true. So for those out there that may not know you, if you would, introduce yourself real quick and a little bit of what you do at the library.
So I'm Betty Collins, and I never ask people to call me Miss Betty, but people call me Miss Betty, and I am 60 years old now, so I'm kind of growing into it, you know.
You are just Miss Betty. I don't know, like I don't even know where I got it from, but it's just like it's who you are.
It really is at this point, because I'll tell you, in my life, there was like a turning point, and that was when I would walk down the street and adults would call me Miss Betty. So, you know, I'm just grateful to have, you know, still be alive and kicking at that point.
Yeah, and you know, I know I've said this before, but I hope when you go home at night, you realize the effect you have and it fills your cup, because I have never heard somebody say an ill word about you or anything and just absolutely loves you and what you do and the impact you've had on the community. So,
Well, thanks for saying that. And you know, being a librarian is a really great job, because you're in it's not an industry, it's it's a career that really focuses on whoever comes in the door is important. You know, right at that moment, they're the most important person, and whatever they are looking for, you know, information or entertainment or literature, whatever, that their journey is like the most important thing.
You know, and this is, we were talking before the show about the one thing that I try and do is like connect it to like disparate things to, you know, and as you're sitting here talking about it, the one thing that I kept going to is when I was in college, I ran a jewelry store up in Iowa City. And the one thing I always said is, I loved it because everybody's in a good mood. If you're buying jewelry, they're in a good mood. They're there for a good reason. And like you said, they're just going down their journey. You're helping them along it. The only time somebody's mad is if we screwed something up. You know what I mean? Like, and then you fix it and move on, right?
Right, yeah.
And so, but just, you know, I would have never thought like jewelry librarian, but it really sort of is. It's like, people come in, you take them down the path, they're in a good mood, they're looking for something. So anyway, you guys get this really weird insight into what goes on in my brain.
That's a great connection, though.
I hope it's somewhat entertaining, and not just like chaos.
That's a great connection, because people come in and, you know, I see this a lot with children. Is it something that's like really precious to them? Like jewelry would be precious.
Right.
Like, is it, you know, fire trucks, or is it cars, or is it worms, or whatever? That whatever they want is like really important and precious to them, and we can help them.
It's that little
find
internal
it.
joy. Like it's that what's filling your cup, or what's, you know, whatever the, you know, crazy little
whatever analogy you want to use.
Thank you. Yeah. Look at that. She even finishes your sentences for you when you can't find the right words. It's kind of like
just
having
tell
a Margaret.
me to shut up.
It's kind of like having a Margaret around. It's great. Okay, so this summer, first of all, I was not able to make it down to the 5th year celebration. How did it go? I saw
fun.
a lot of pictures. Tony had a lot of stuff. It looked like it was great.
It was really fun. We saw lots of people, you know, we knew everybody, of course.
Yeah,
everybody who came, we knew. And that felt fun right there. Bobby Fiedler, our director, he gave a very short speech, as did John Moravec, who's president of the board, and Xiaowen Guo, who is president of the Friends. They all gave very, very nice speeches about, like, why is a library important to a community? And we're just grateful to be the community's library.
Yeah. And, you know, Tony, obviously Tony Lokensoul is a good friend of mine, and he's on the board of the library. So we would talk about this stuff a lot. And, you know, what I love is, especially like during COVID, you know, you guys did a really good job of pivoting, and you've always done a great job of, like, I'm going to say staying current. And that, I don't know if there's a better way of saying that, but, like, it's not just books on shelves, right? Like, that's maybe what the average person thinks of a library. But it's really just, it's kind of moved, because that used to be the way resources were handled, right? But you got, it doesn't matter. Like, you've got the computers, you've got, like, the free, like, whatever it is somebody needs to find worms or whatever, you guys have the ability, like, here's some books, here's some web, like, and, you know, you guys do a great job of that, and it's fun to kind of watch, you know what I mean? Like, so... You've got a busy summer coming.
Yeah, we do. We're in the midst of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I guess it's not really coming anymore. Yeah, like baseball season's, we're in the middle of baseball season too. Baseball's coming. No, it's not. It's
here.
It's here. Okay, so let's start with, like, how do you want to do it? You want to start with, like, the young kids? Or
let's start with the theme.
Okay, roll with it.
The theme for summer reading this year, and, you know, every year there's a theme. Yep. We do not come up with the theme, but we usually pick from a couple of different themes that public libraries in the U.S. generally do. And this one is Find Your Voice, which I think is a great theme, and it kind of reflects how everybody who comes to the library has their own journey. And that whatever your voice is, that, you know, we want to help you express yourself and your happiness and your growth. And so we're doing a lot of different kind of things this summer to be very inclusive. And you will see that when you look at the flyer, because there's a lot of different things there.
And here's the thing, folks. It's not even, Chris, which one do you want me to point them at? This one? Okay. So it's not just one, like, it doesn't fit on one sheet. Like, there's two, like, you would think, oh, hey, I see these two, and they're like, oh, it's just the same. It's not. It's like literally 2 pages of stuff.
And wait, there's a third page, but I generally have one that's front and back and one that's separate, and I grabbed one that wasn't actually front and back. So there's 3 pages, three pages of activities.
Okay, so I don't even know, where do we start?
Well, let's start with this one here.
Okay.
Because this one is all ages, anybody is welcome, and those are often more of our, I guess we would say, we expected them to be our bigger things, although actually we've had great attendance at just about everything.
So you've got story time, you've got, and another, I'm going to say he's the male equivalent of Miss Betty in this community, Dave Bakke.
Yes.
Yes. In a really weird sort of way, right? Dave is the naturalist at, what do you discover?
County Conservation.
County Conservation.
May I tell you a very funny story?
You absolutely,
okay.
Of course.
Okay, so.
Don't ever ask that again, just do it.
Very short story. I was at an event at the Y. It was, I think, Halloween at the Y. This was a number of years ago. I was in costume. I don't remember what I was, but I was in this costume. I think I was a dinosaur or something. But we were running the Big Blue Blocks activity for kids. And so there were all kinds of kids coming through of different ages, and there was one who, I want to say he was maybe 9 or 10 years old, so he wasn't a really, really little kid, but he kept looking at me in this costume, and you couldn't see my face, and he was only listening to my voice. And finally his face lit up, and he said, "I know who you are. Mr. Bakke."
There is a little bit.
And I swear that's the best compliment I've ever received.
Well, it's not so much like the tone; it's the cadence and the ability to put emphasis right where you need to. Holy cow, that kid needs to have his own show.
Yes,
like that's
absolutely.
a connection.
Wish I could tell you who he was, but I got so much enjoyment out of that, even though my coworkers were like falling down laughing.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, we thought we would have Dave Bakke here with an owl earlier, but we had the person who's coming into county conservation, and he's fantastic. His name is Luke Hart. And he was fantastic. First time ever at the library, so I met him for the first time that day, and we had probably over 200 people for that OWL program, and he was very good.
Yes, because that's something, I didn't notice the dates, and I kind of did, Mr. Baki is, how do we want to say this? He's being a quitter. No.
We are so sad to see him go, and yet he's given decades to Muscatine.
He has,
he can fly free.
He can absolutely fly free. And quick little aside, Dave, thank you from the entire community if you're watching. I was thinking it was later.
Yeah, it's June 30th is his last day.
So it's coming.
He
up.
was breaking the new guy in.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But we threw him in at the deep end because we had a big crowd, and he was great. Yeah, so welcome, Luke and Dave. Yeah, thank you.
And Dave and Amy both just obviously tremendous assets to the community, and hopefully he finds something that he enjoys as much as it looked like he enjoyed being a naturalist. Yeah. And I'm sure he did, but holy cow, we still haven't talked about the rest of the stuff.
I know.
There's you got foam cannons, you've got dress ups, you've got
animatronic dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
Animatronic dinosaurs. It's next week. It's a week from today. So this is they look like you've gone into Jurassic Park. It's a kind of a cross between a gigantic puppet and a robot, because these are giant dinosaur creatures. There's a person inside operating the electronics in each one. And they will be on the library lawn a week from today, June 27th, first thing in the morning, before hopefully it gets very hot, like from 10 to 11. And so we'll have 3 big dinos. I'm trying to remember exactly what they are. A T-Rex, I believe, because how could we do it without that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and maybe a Triceratops. I don't remember for sure, but they are going to be impressive. And people can take photos of them out on the lawn, but as far as posing with the dinosaurs, that will be after the 3 big dinosaurs, because they can't even come into the building. And then afterwards, we'll have some baby dinos in the building. 2 of them, and each of them will be available for pictures with families for an hour. So 1 hour-ish out on the lawn, and then 1 hour afterwards in the library, where we'll just move families as fast as we can so that everybody who wants a picture with a baby dino can get a picture.
Awesome.
You better come.
Well, I'm just again, as you're doing that, I've got to imagine, Chris, we need to get a smoke animation that whenever somebody does that and you see that little look on my face, the gears are just grinding, you can just put that on there, because Chris is I'm trying to figure out my calendar. I'm what are we doing next?
Well, you'll be filming.
What can I cancel? Yeah. What can I move? Yeah, we'll just go down after the show.
Yeah, come on down. You can get your photo with this baby dino.
Oh no, I'm doing video. I'm just gonna take over the place. We're gonna come in. We'll live it. We'll we'll come.
Yeah, we'll look for you.
Okay.
So that's just one of the things we're doing this summer. And we have Mr. Taylor. I call him Emerson, but kids and lots of parents call him Mr. Taylor. We were so sad to see Julie Lear retire last year. I cried more than once, just because she's such a great person and a good friend, and we've worked together forever. Yeah. But boy, we are so happy to have Emerson Taylor here. He is amazing. He's doing adventure story hikes. He's doing songwriting workshops. He did Hunt Through History yesterday, where he took kids to Greenwood Cemetery on a historical scavenger hunt type of thing. Nice. Also, we're working with Park and Rec this summer. They have been awesome. Muscatine, City of Muscatine Park and Rec, they are great. They, approached us about working together. We're having so much fun together. They did a dino dig just yesterday. They did that in the sand volleyball courts, where kids could dig for fossils, and it's because next week we're having the animatronic dinosaurs.
Right. Yeah.
So we've been working together hand in hand. We also are having kids not only log their minutes for prizes, but also to log their hours outside because we want kids and families to have a great summer out of doors, and that includes Park and Rec.
But inside there's air conditioning and there's
you can do whatever you want,
daylight,
Chris. However you want to read your book, you can do it. You can do it outside, you can do it inside, but it's great for kids especially to be outside because your brain grows in different ways when you're outside that you just can't do indoors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're all about like just building kids' brains and helping families to really enjoy their summer for no money.
Yeah.
Everything is free at the library.
Yep.
And we do that on purpose because we feel like education needs to be available to anybody. And these experiences that, like the animatronic dinosaurs, the foam cannon, the cockatoo encounter, that, sure, many families can go choose to do activities like that, but not every family can get away. Like my family can't get away during the summer because I'm doing summer reading.
Right.
So we just want to provide really inspiring and enlightening, educational, fun activities for people, whether you have lots of money or no money. You can just come to the library and your brain can grow like 5 times its normal size, just by coming to the library.
Did you just reference Seuss?
Yes, the Grinch, yes.
So I don't even know where to go. How often am I speechless? That doesn't happen that often.
And it's for all ages.
It is.
It is.
And I was going to this Gen X thing, right? So TikTok's been all over Gen X, and we had, I'm like the very tail end of like Gen X. I'm in that little micro generation of like born in 79, 80. We grew up with you were kicked outside at 8 o'clock in the morning. You maybe came back for lunch. Maybe you just ate in the woods. And then you came back, you were outside all the time. And what I was kind of like envisioning, my son doesn't have that experience because that's not allowed anymore, I guess, or I don't know. But this is something kind of like that, where like you can just let him go explore. You know what I mean? Like it's a safe spot. You can, obviously, I'm not saying go cut your kids loose on the library with no supervision. I'm not saying that. I want to be clear, I'm not saying that. But what you can do is you can let them go explore. You know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily have to guide them through everything. You can let them explore. You can let them make those connections for themselves. You've got great staff there that they can be learning from somebody that's not you as a parent. It can kind of be like sort of like what we experienced, where you just let them go. Like let them be.
You can put a child in charge of their own learning.
There you go. It's almost like they planned it. It's almost like that's a concept.
But as you say, it's kind of within constraints of, and we do absolutely ask parents to keep track of their children at the library and take care of them. But it's like, it's some independent learning, child-driven, child-oriented, and that we help people of whatever age go on their own learning journey.
Okay, what else? The hike?
The Adventure Story hike. Oh my gosh, Mr. Taylor had 85 people at Discovery Park doing a story hike, and 65 at Salisbury Bridge. And so these are, and this is aimed at like ages 4 through 9, with the parent. Obviously with the parent. It's a family activity.
Yeah, again, I want to be extremely clear. We were not saying just go dump your kids at the library. Just abundantly clear.
Yeah, and why wouldn't a parent want to be part of that adventure too?
It's fun. Yeah.
So
I think the big thing here that I want to make sure that we connect to this is check out the library website. They've got a calendar. We pull all of the library events into the Discover Muscatine calendar. So you've got plenty of places to find it. It's online on our website, a number of places. It's in the virtual backpack. If parents still have access to that, it's in the virtual backpack. We sent one of these home with every school child, so there it is. You can always call us, and you can look on Channel 5 as well, the library channel, and take a look for things. So, but if anybody needs to be reminded, just people can just call and say, hey, what's going on today? Or just get crazy and go there. There's probably something going on, and
there probably is.
And you can also then find out what you want to put on your calendar for the future. So.
And fun programs for adults this year too. So
wait, you're including adults?
Oh, yeah. Now, I am not in charge of those programs, but our new assistant director, Molly Garrett, she is, and she's got lots of help from other library staff, Katie Rocky and Kimmy Mendoza, and a couple of other adult staff are helping put on programs for adults. So lots of things for all ages, plus even adults can read and keep track of their reading, read 5 books, get a $5 Hy-Vee gift card. You know, I always feel like I just talk a mile a minute here, but that's because there's so much to say.
There is. Well, and it's, you know, I use the phrase, it's like drinking from a fire hose a lot, but that's good, right? Like, and there's no way in a show like this we could ever cover everything. So we try and get as much info for you guys as we can, but you know, being involved doesn't always come with a written invitation, right? Hop on the website, find something that connects with you or you connect with, or that you think your kid may, or your spouse, significant other, whatever it is. Put that little bit of effort in. I mean, it's so little effort to go look and see what's on the calendar and find something.
Yeah, and you know what I would like to say before I get distracted by all these other things I want to talk about is, it's so great that we can do this and it's all free to the public, and that's because we have some great sponsors. And so Friends of the Library are wonderful because Friends of the Library pay for things that we just can't do out of the city budget. For instance, we would never ask the city to pay for animatronic dinosaurs, but the Friends can pay for it, and they are, you know, they're a wonderful asset for us. So thank you to the Friends. And CBI, Bank and Trust, they are our corporate sponsor, and so they contribute to this as well, and we couldn't do it without them either. And then, of course, it's been really fun partnering with Park and Rec on these things.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to work. You know what I mean? It's like an entire community effort. Everybody does their lane, and you pull it all together, and you end up with animatronic dinosaurs at the library, which is awesome. Okay, holy cow. Is there anything else big, major that...
Oh, yes. One last thing.
Okay, fire away.
Yes. So now COVID kind of broke this up a little bit, but we used to always give a challenge to readers to read X number of books or X number of minutes, and we would do something. We've done all kinds of crazy things, all sorts of crazy things. And the pandemic put a kibosh on that, but we're back. And if all the readers all together, so collectively, of all ages, can read 500,000 minutes, so 500,000 minutes collectively, then all of us children's staff, and maybe even some from the adult part of the library, and maybe even some from Park and Rec, are going to put on a little concert at the Aquatic Center for our final event, and we will be wearing our mermaid tails. Or I should say, mermaid and merman tails. So Mr. Taylor has agreed to be part of this too. And he'll have his little ukulele.
Okay, I have to ask, are you going to be able to get Rich Climbs in one of these?
Ooh. Well, you know, I haven't asked yet.
I think that if the community, because here's the thing, Rich is a great community guy, right?
He sure is.
He is, and he puts it out there, and so I think that if the community hits this I think Rich should do this.
Well, I will let you get in touch with him and let him know that.
I think I just did. I think we might have to send him that message here after the show.
All right. But I guarantee you that Mr. Taylor will.
How do they log their minutes?
So we have software called Beanstack.
Okay.
And it is available on the library website. You go to the library website, the first thing you see is this giant banner that looks like you're underwater.
Okay.
And you just click on the banner and you go straight to the website, the software that logs your minutes. And you can sign up for it. Right there, you might already be signed up for it because it rolls over from year to year, and you just have to put yourself in this year's. Or you can call us and say, hey, I don't want to go to the bother of this, just sign me up and we'll do it. And we are happy to do it for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Easy breezy. I'll have to make sure Melissa knows about that too, because she reads voraciously.
Yeah.
Because I want to see Muscatine, I want to see Rich Climbs in a mermaid tail. So let's make this happen. Holy cow. Miss Betty, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Go look for these Find Your Voice. There's 3 of them, apparently front and back.
Yep.
Or go to the library website. You know what to do, people.
Yeah.
I don't have to preach it to you. You know what to do.
Well, thanks for having me on your show this morning.
Absolutely. And we will be back with you tomorrow, Muscatine. Have a great Tuesday.